I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Madison Public Schools Board of Education. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. There is a flag down there and another one here. So, let's go. This way. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you all. We have our school/community session and any public participation. Do we have anybody online? Okay. And next comes our Board of Education Student Representatives Report. Grace and Katie. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It feels really surreal that 2 years have absolutely flown by. I remember sitting in one of those chairs and watching Eli for the last time give his presentation, and I could have never imagined how quickly it would go. But we just have a few updates, mostly seniors, because obviously that's where I'm at right now. Last Friday was our senior trip, and we went to the Madison movie theaters. We had snacks and candy and soda provided. It was a really fun, safe event. It was beautiful outside. And I think that the students really appreciated getting to go somewhere with their student body. We don't have a lot of opportunities to get off campus as a class. So that was really special. And we also had a pre-prom assembly about critical decision making, especially in regards to operating cars and vehicles as prom was coming up, but just making good decisions, smart decisions, making sure that we're being safe. And I think the presenter did an amazing job. It was really well received. And I heard during prom and even after that students were repeating that messages and making sure that students were making responsible decisions. So that had a really positive impact on my grade. And prom itself was a great event. I was telling Kate, it was so fun. We didn't even want to leave when the doors opened. The venue was beautiful at Anthony's in New Haven. Food was amazing, as everyone says, and I had a great time. Everyone seemed to be very happy. There was special activities available, so that was a great event. And then looking forward, we have the senior awards on the 15th, I believe. Yes. So that's a really cool opportunity to recognize some of the students in the class of 2026 for their talents or their contributions to our grade, school, or community. And then we have our senior brunch on the 16th, which is another event I've heard a lot of students looking forward to. And then, as we keep mentioning, graduation is on the 17th, which I'm sure you guys are all aware, but students are really excited for that event. Some of the speakers have been chosen from my class, and a lot of people have started decorating their grad caps. So I was on Amazon buying gems last night. I know a lot of people are getting stencils, so that's a really fun thing that we're doing. And yeah, that should be a great event. I'm hoping that the weather looks great. We had our yearbook distribution today. It was in honor of Mr. Baskin, which we actually chose a few months ago, which the staff said meant a lot to his family, and we're really glad that we could make such a meaningful dedication. And senior superlatives came out. A lot of them were pretty accurate in my opinion, so that was fun to see that we're all on the same page. And that was just a cool event to get together again for one of the last times as a senior class. And then Night at Hand is going to take place after graduation. It is back in hand. I know some people had some questions at Madison Youth, so it'll be here. There's a lot of food and prizes available, but they are also looking for volunteers and donations. They still need some help setting that up. So if any of you guys want to volunteer, or if you know someone who would be interested, I think they would really appreciate that. And then another addition to the school is the memory boards, which are down by the cafeteria. I know we're on the complete other side of the building, but if you ever have an opportunity to walk down there or know any of the seniors, it's really special to see all their baby pictures and pictures with the friends over the years. So we're really appreciative of the volunteers that set that up. And then senior exams actually begin tomorrow, which is crazy. It's technically our last day of school tomorrow for a lot of the seniors. Because the following few days will be exams if you have to take them, but students with an A- or above are exempt from honors classes and level 2 courses. That doesn't apply to AP, unfortunately. I definitely learned that the hard way. And then the spring sports seasons, it is going so well. The tennis won, the boys tennis won state championships, and the boys track team won the state championship and SEC, which is incredible. They have such a strong team and have had a strong team for a few years now. Girls lacrosse just won their game. We just got that information. So they'll be advancing to the state finals, I believe, on Saturday. So we're going to try and make that game. They have worked so hard over the last 4 years. It's great to see them starting to get some recognition. And boys golf won states, which was a very unexpected win. I hadn't heard about that, but I'm very proud of them and great to see all of the spring success.
Yeah, so then last Wednesday we had our last wellness of the year. I know we don't have too many wellnesses throughout the year, but a lot of students, it's like a fan favorite event. They really just appreciate that time during the day just to kind of relax and recuperate. And then we have trimester 3 exams for all non-seniors beginning next Monday. So periods 1 and 2 will take place on Monday, 3 and 4 on Tuesday, and 5 and 6 on Wednesday. And Wednesday also being the last day of school for everyone, unless you have to make up an exam the following day you go into school. And the class of 2027 just got an email about their senior portraits being available and to schedule those, which was kind of surreal for me to see. I was like, wow, senior year is really coming. So that's crazy to think about, but yeah, so we just have to get in scheduling. I believe it's sometimes in August, so all seniors will try to get their senior portraits in before the school year begins. Junior awards also took place a few weeks ago. Those were just various different types of book awards just to honor students and show appreciation for them, as well as some students who were selected for girls and boys state. It was more of an informal event as it was held during the school day. However, so many students still really appreciate that. They also just made it a super special event, but mainly I think they want to highlight the senior events that are upcoming for next year and also for seniors as well. I know that's a much bigger event just to really show their appreciation for those seniors as well. And finally, I just want to personally express some appreciation to the board as well as Grace. I'm so incredibly grateful for this opportunity. I love coming here on Tuesday nights and sharing my reports with you guys. I also want to say thank you to Grace because you've been an amazing co-representative. I'll really miss you next year, but I wish you the best of luck at Duke. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys. I really look forward to returning next year with my new board person.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, and I just want to echo what Kate said. This has been one of the highlights of the past 2 years of high school. I just really appreciate this opportunity that you give to students to be able to advocate for their peers, but also give a little insight as to what's going on at the high school. It has been so special for my family and me. And like Kate said, I really appreciate coming here every other Tuesday. It has been so much fun to learn about what you guys do and try and translate that back to the building. So I really appreciate you guys selecting me 2 years ago. It has absolutely flown by. I know Kate is going to do a great job next year. I'm really excited for the new representative. I'm sure that they're in great hands. So yeah, just thank you. And I really appreciate everything that you've provided me with over the last 2 years.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you both.
Thank
Any
you both.
questions? I think finally on the last meeting of the year, I finally realized it's Kate and not Katie. But we had a former board chair named Katie, so that's why I keep, when I'm sitting at the table, I keep thinking Katie, so I apologize. But thank you both. You've done a great job this year. You've really filled us in a lot and given us good insights, especially around the cell phone use and that sort of thing. And that was big for our board. And it was very helpful to hear from you both on that. Thank you.
I'd like
Yeah.
to say you deserve all the accolades. You've been outstanding representatives. We take in far more than, it's like, I wish that, I spoke half as well as both of you.
Thank you.
And, have a great summer.
Thank you.
Great life.
I could just add, so I've been in Madison for 5.5 years, so for 4 of those years, there's been an Ackerman on me.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's just, it's gonna be hard enough to have next year. But Kate, thrilled you're coming back, and Grace, just, it's been amazing to watch you go through these 2 years, you know, up close, and from the Coca-Cola scholarship to the other, you know, all the volunteerism you do and all the organizations that you positively impact. It's really been great. So it's gonna be amazing to watch what you do, and so we wish you the the best, and please keep us updated.
Thank you.
Thank you both. And there's a small token of our.
Yeah, thank you.
appreciation. Yes, we wish we could do more, but because you deserve more for all the time you put into it, but
Yeah,
something we
thank
can
you.
do, yeah. So,
Yeah. From different, yeah, maybe I will.
I think probably should be going home to study.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great summer. Well, good luck at Duke.
Thank you.
Um,
Oh, thanks. Eli still has this on his dress. Thank you. Bye, thank you. Thanks.
next agenda item is the superintendent's report. Dr. Cook.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Klaskin. So few updates tonight. We do have a new board chair announced. I know Galen was going to introduce him. He must not have been able to join us tonight, but I don't know if you want to say something about that.
It was an absolute privilege of mine to sit in on the discussions and read the essay submissions from the students at hand. There are really many worthy candidates. You know, it's no surprise, we're proud of our students, and but Ethan Sheps, who's a rising junior, wrote an exceptional essay in which he articulated the reasons how he can best serve the student body and represent them before the board. He's a lacrosse player. He's active in Vibe, excellent student, and gives of his time. So we're really excited to have him.
Thank you for just participating. I know it's a long day and lots of great interviews. Thank you. Just one other sports recognition. I know our students shared a lot of the latest update. We did have a female golfer score the lowest in all of CIAC in the championship, a 79. So Millie Goldlick scored that. So anyone who's a golfer would understand 79 is pretty good. Yeah, so that's great. And there have been 6 team championships for the year. So just tremendous update in wins for our students. Also want to share with the board, this is ahead of where we've been in other years. We have 182 kindergarten students that registered as of now. So those are students that have indicated they're coming. Their families have registered. We've had some events already for students where they've had a chance to get into the schools and meet teachers and staff and have a little bit of tours. So they'll have more opportunities as we get closer to the school year, and we'll have more students join them. But 182 is a really solid kindergarten class. And there has been, I know we've been watching very closely that balance between Brown and Neck River, and it's right about where it's supposed to be. So we're pleased to see that as well. A lot of the end of the year events were already mentioned by the students, but just at specific times. The senior awards night is Monday, June 15th at 6 p.m. in Diane Assembly Hall. 8th grade promotion ceremony is on June 17th at 9 a.m. Please root for good weather for us on that day. And then also graduation, so we need a whole day of good weather, is on the 17th at 6 p.m. So we'll be watching that very closely. Just a couple reminders for the board and public. On June 22nd, our schools start some big transformations. So there's a lot of work, as you know, going on at Polson already. Starting the 22nd, we are closing the building down and starting some major construction to get it ready for the start of the year. And then Brown as well will be closed because of all the work going on at Brown inside and out of the building. So a lot going on at those 2 buildings in particular. And then all our schools go through major cleaning and projects each summer. And then also at this point, we are looking like we'll be able to cancel the June 23rd meeting for the Board of Ed because we don't have any agenda items, but we'll see, and just keep it on your calendar for now in case we do need it. But I just wanted to get that heads up. So that was my report.
Questions for Craig? No? Okay, board member comments, and just to keep up with my standard, I've been out there and given a board member comment. This is my last meeting on the Board of Ed. My last meeting as chair of the board, and I've spent 17 of the last 19 years on the board. And so I thought I could take maybe 4 minutes to read the statement I just shared. Yeah, exactly. So sadly, this is my last meeting, as I mentioned, as a Board of Ed member. And my last board member comments. You guys are happy to hear that, I'm sure. I'll get, last comments I'll get to bore you with. It's been a high honor, a true privilege to serve on this board for those 17 years and to have the opportunity to serve as chair for the last 5 years, 4 3/4, whatever. Our district has seen continual improvement over that time and is perennially regarded as one of the top districts in our state. Our schools and our administrators continue to win impressive awards, and student achievement has improved markedly to the pinnacle of student achievement across the country. This board started implementing forward-thinking multi-year initiatives under my leadership, which have included transitioning out from COVID, masking, and social distancing, social emotional learning integrated into all curricula and school development plans, the school renewal plan, and now a focus on technology that has ushered in a new cell phone policy, more judicious use of Chromebooks, and a fully integrated AI curriculum, probably the first of its kind in the state. We've supported special education, the arts, and STEM, while winning almost every sporting trophy under the sun, perhaps most importantly, the Michaels Cup for good sportsmanship. We've led the state and have lived at the cutting edge of educational advancement. Of course, I can't take personal credit for the distinguished list of accomplishments our district has achieved. This board and its dedicated members have committed firmly to the principle of student advancement above all else. We truly have put partisanship and other social differences aside to weigh every single decision for how it impacts learning and student outcomes. We've earned the recognition of our peers, getting the highest award paid issues to boards. I've seen how other boards operate around the state, and I can promise you, our students in the town of Madison benefit greatly from the efforts of our dedicated board members and this board's ability to leave gamesmanship behind. Thank you all for your commitment to being the best board members you can be. I owe a huge debt of gratitude to the gifted, dedicated administrators, passionate teachers, and hardworking staff who serve our students every single day. Dr. Cook and I have maintained an excellent relationship. He's a very talented superintendent, and it's been a privilege to work with you, Craig. Maybe it helped that we're both Steelers fans, I don't know. I look forward to staying in touch at any rate. I feel the need to reiterate for the public how lucky we are to have Gail Darling-Hench at the helm of our amazing homespun curriculum development and renewal cycle. Gail is regarded as a treasure throughout the state, and her hard work and prowess have catapulted our student achievement in the 13 years she's been our curriculum maven. Our building administrators are second to none, and our teachers are so dedicated and invested in the success of our students. I so appreciate everyone's efforts. Madison Public Schools is a well-oiled machine, and I thank all of you for making the board look so good over the years. Thanks especially to our students, their families, and the Madison taxpayers. Madison attracts families who value education. In return, the Board of Education and the district turn out high-achieving, well-prepared graduates, as well as reasonable tax levels and the maintenance of high property values. It's the social compact in Madison that the Madison Board of Education and Madison Public Schools deliver value. But we couldn't do it as well as we do if we were constantly fighting to overcome failed budget referenda. We drive value, and you provide votes in support of our value-based budgets. Thank you for loaning us your children as well as your budget votes. This board is at the apex. It works in harmonious partnership with amazing district and building leadership to deliver top results. I'm proud to say that upon departing, I'm leaving the board and the district in capable hands. The state of our district is indeed strong. Thank you all for allowing me to ride out on top.
I'd like to say that a short summary can't do justice to the extent breadth of your 17 years. For the record that you've accomplished. I kind of like to think about it as if you're like Ben Roethlisberger, the Hall of Fame Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback who led them to the Super Bowl, right? But I think your dedication, your experience, your selflessness, your self-deprecating humor, your dad humor, you know, the passion you bring to the district are all just really remarkable qualities. And given that, it always takes me back when I disagree with you on policy, but I suspect that says more about me than you. And I thought hard about what kind of gift would be appropriate, Seth, because you've done so much for the district. And I decided that the best thing to do would be to have an open invitation for non-alcoholic pints and a book of your choosing, so we can debate it and discuss it, because you're a colleague and a friend, and really, grateful to know you.
You're a great friend. Thank you. Thank
Not
you all.
alcohol?
Well, it could be alcoholic, but this is a public setting.
Not on school property.
Not on school,
Right.
Can I?
Oh,
I
yeah,
have a comment, please.
I'm not sure if you're done.
That's a safe assumption.
Yeah. I put the paper away, so we're good. I'm not reading anymore.
Oh, no, go.
No, I'll just be brief and short. Thank you so much for your leadership. We've all benefited from you, and you've always been the voice of experience and the voice of reason. And you're going to have very, very hard shoes to fill. We're going to miss you, and thank you for all your service.
I have enjoyed sparring with you. I have learned so much from you. You've had so much experience on the board. And as you know, I was not thrilled when you came on. But I've learned to really come to call you a friend, and I've really learned so much. I mean, not just from you, but from everyone on the board. And I've enjoyed this more than I thought I would. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not gonna be the same.
I promised you two that you would end up liking me.
Well.
Make it happy.
Don't go that far.
Wait a minute, she said it, I did not. I have to know I like you, so, yes, I appreciate everything. And you've worked hard, you've gone to all the meetings and you show up for everything, and I think we all appreciate that, thank you.
Thank
We'll miss you, but you'll be around town, it's not
Yes,
like,
I will.
not like we won't see you in Stockbridge.
But you really worked hard though to make sure that that everyone was heard on the board, regardless of what political party you belong to, and you were fair. And I appreciate that.
I echo that. That's very true. And you always put the students first, and I mean, we all do, but you always were voice of reason again, and reminding everybody and putting political parties aside. And I'm just gonna miss you. You've been a good friend and a good leader, and thank you, Sam.
Thank you. I will miss this, and I will miss all of you. Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, your new role.
Yeah.
Well, that was really, I'll just take this opportunity to say a few words too. When I was told that somebody was gonna join the board as board chair during the pandemic, when we were going through the masking, I was like, wow, that's a lot to take on, and it, because at that point, we would have 30 people at each board meeting, very upset with us over a decision that was outside of our control. And every other Tuesday night started off with about 45 minutes of listening to how upset people were with us. So to kind of jump into that midstream it shows a lot of bravery and commitment to education. I think we've seen that before. No one sees how much time you do really put into it. I mean, at 4 o'clock today, you were on another meeting advocating for a sidewalk that connect Neck River to Dingland and Polson. And it's just like, those are the things that you've been doing. All the CABE work that you did, you leader in CABE. And I know if you had stayed with education, and on the board, you would have risen to, I know other offices, because they've shared that with me. So, but I'm very happy for you to become a judge, and that's a huge job, and I know you're going to do great work in that, help a lot of families and kids out, and that's really what you've been all about, helping kids in education, and really student focused, and just always focused on what we could do better and what we needed to follow up on. And so I've appreciated you've always been available any time of the day, 7 days a week. You know, always thinking about the board and always available to me. So thank you for all of that. And, you know, I'm gonna miss you as well, but I'm glad you're staying close.
Thank you, Brent.
We have a small token of the district and board's appreciation for you. I'd like to.
Thank you so much, and so thank you for all your help through the years. Like, now or?
Sure.
Yeah. I get the-
Sure.
The leaf side pop.
Big one. A really big one.
The gavel.
Yeah, I was gonna
say,
you're
Gavel here.
Oh, the goodness. Oh, is it?
No.
You gotta open what's in that thing.
Oh, that's so cool.
Aw. Great.
That is awesome. Thank you. Oh, man.
Read it.
Your guidance and direction as a board member has strengthened the bond between the community and the school. Seth Klaskin, 17 years of service, Madison Education.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. I'm not doing it without crying, but I'm crying inside. Because I, you know, the item. Cherish that plaque. Thank you. Whew. All right, any audience response to the information presented? Anyone online? Consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Galen, do I have a second? Emily, thank you both. Any discussion? Yes, go ahead.
Yep. Object 51108 AP testing.
No.
I was sad to see that we didn't use as much as last year, and I was just,
So not all timesheets are in that.
okay.
Because, yes.
Good. Good.
We were out.
You don't even have to look into it.
All right, all in favor, aye.
I,
All opposed, nay. The abstentions, motion carries 8-0. Okay, board committee and liaison reports, curriculum and student development. Kathy is not here, but the curriculum and student development committee had a meeting last Wednesday to receive the new curriculum proposed for art, English language arts, math, and social studies. And we'll be voting on that later this evening. And it was an amazing presentation. If you're not on the curriculum and student development committee and you get a chance to go to this once a year, you should go. It's always in the spring, at the end of the year. And it is, you see almost more vividly than in any other way, the passion and the devotion that our teachers bring and their engagement level that they derive from being involved in this participatory curriculum development and maintenance cycle. It's just amazing. So you know, I look forward to hopefully that passing, but the work they're doing, and we never rest on our laurels. And we'll talk more about it when that comes up. But facilities committee, Emily.
Your report, you meet next week.
Okay, finance committee, Galen.
No report, hope to close out the year soon.
Okay. Personnel committee, Maureen.
We haven't met either, no report.
Okay, it's that time of the year, by the way. Policy committee, Diane.
we have not met since the last meeting, but you will find in your packet, there are 3 policies for review. 1 is a first read and 2 are action items, hoping to wait the second read for tonight.
And I want to point out and thank Diane. her personality and drive got us all the way through the whole policy manual, which is something. It really is. You know, a lot of districts take years and years to do that. And Diane whipped us into shape and had our whole policy. And there was a point after Jackie graduated that you were thinking about not running again. I asked you to step up and run so you could finish that. You did that, and I greatly appreciate it. And the board owes you a debt of gratitude. Thank you. That was great work.
A lot of that heavy lifting was Zoe.
Yeah, well, thank you, Zoe. Absolutely. A lot of the heavy lifting around here is Zoe. Okay, learn liaison, Galen.
We have not met. The next meeting is this Thursday. I can tell you what the agenda is, which is an approval of Learn Magnet schools and programs for partial participation in community eligibility provision. An evaluation of the executive director, and formation of teacher negotiations committee. That's a preview.
Isn't it breakfast?
There is, I wasn't gonna mention that, but there is a breakfast. And you are invited.
Oh, crap.
I'll be attending.
Okay, all right. Yes.
Okay.
Breakfast.
You're getting that learn punch?
That's right. Well, it predated learn, but there you go.
All right, so now on to the exciting action items section of our meeting. Action item 10, I need a motion to approve the proposed art, English language arts, math, and social studies curriculum units recommended by the Curriculum and Student Development Committee.
So,
Mary Ann, do I have a second?
Second.
I'll take Jessica since she's on the committee. Thank you. Yeah, I already, I opened up the discussion a little bit. One of the biggest things that we covered is in ELA, the English Language Arts. Don't forget that we have been resisting the state's one size fits all. We've been advocating in Hartford against having to adopt, one size fits all reading curricula and programs off the shelf for our K-3 reading. We've had incredible results that lead the state, and it was our argument and our contention that our curriculum, our homegrown curriculum, was great, and it was. But at some point, the state imposed itself and called us to the carpet, and so we found a way to incorporate sensible pieces of some of two of the off-the-shelf curriculum programs into our curriculum. And we could have just done it to do it and to check the box, but that's not good enough for Madison. We spent the whole summer with teachers volunteering under Gail's leadership and under Michelle Horn's oversight. And they really took the task to heart, and they found the positivity in it, and they found a way to actually have it enhance our curriculum and not just be adjunct to or lopped on to our homegrown curriculum. All of the teachers in all of these areas worked very hard. There's new social studies curriculum required by the state that they had to incorporate. It just, all of them did great. And I'd love for Jessica maybe to say a word or two, because she was at that meeting.
Yeah, I would love to. It was really impressive. But a couple things, in addition to what Seth shared about the integration of some of the outside materials in the ELA early grades, a couple other things that struck me. The social studies curriculum for Polson, I was really impressed by. There's a lot of really interesting project-based assessments woven into there, including the kids learn about Middle Ages inventions, and then they make a Shark Tank style pitch about that, which is kind of fun. I was also particularly struck by the fact that at each of those grades, they weave in true world history, which, I noted is not something I didn't learn about Asian history until I was in college, right? And so the fact that our sixth graders get to learn about that, I think, is really impressive. The arts curriculum, I was interested to hear, now that the elementary schools have grown so big, I think that they've come up with a really efficient and creative solution to managing prep for that, so. They pair the grades, it's K in first, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. They have a 2-year curriculum that then they like flip flop through. So in 1 year, the kindergartners and first graders are doing the same curriculum because it eases the prep. But then when those kindergartners become first graders, they'll get that same curriculum. Am I explaining that in a way that people understand? So I thought that that was a really kind of efficient solution to that problem. I can't speak as eloquently to the geometry changes, the right angle, that's like buried deep in the recesses of my brain, but clearly there was equal, intentionality displayed there too. So it was very impressive.
Thank you. So, any questions? No? All right, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of adopting the curricula? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes 8-0. Thank you very much. And congratulations to all the teachers and administrators who worked so hard on that. It's wonderful. Action item 11, I need a motion to waive the second reading and approve the following policies. 5040, admission to the public schools at or before age 5. And policy 5090.9, use of private technological devices by students. Diane, do I have a second?
Second.
Emily, thank you both. Any discussion?
I actually had some suggestions for
Sure.
the cell phone policy, if that's okay.
Sure.
I thought that it read a little, I thought it could have been stronger, the way it was worded, and I had this action failed, so let me pull it on my phone. My cell phone has the cell phone policy changes I recommend.
Your fault.
This is the
The
irony.
irony.
That was the one meeting that I forgot to turn my phone off, the ringer off. It rang right when we were voting on cell phone. One meeting.
So I thought we could have a clearer opening, something like in an effort to ensure an optimal learning environment that supports student engagement, meaningful interpersonal connection, and focused learning. Madison Public Schools is a phone-free school district. I thought that that was important to note in the policy. And then go into students may possess cellular phones and other wireless communication devices on school property and school-sponsored transportation, only in accordance with the restrictions outlined in this policy. But the way that it's worded, I think is a little confusing. It makes it sound like cell phones are permitted, which I suppose they are, but they're mostly, things that they're put away during the day. I also would encourage inserting into the pre-K to 5, students are strongly discouraged from bringing cellular phones.
One thing I'll say about your first statement is that one of the reasons why we've gone through and revised all of our policies is because we had a habit in Madison that developed over decades of making policy pronouncements to precede our policies. And we were advised by legal counsel that we shouldn't be doing that. It can cause issues legally. Because if you're adding gratuitous language, it can be misinterpreted or used against the board or against the district. So we've adopted a streamlined policy methodology where we don't add pronouncements like that. So, I mean, look, I'm stepping off the board, so you guys can discuss that in
But
further
if you put
detail, but
students may bring cellular phones to school and other wireless. But devices must, and I know what you're saying, should be a little.
Yeah,
If you read the regulation though, I think it sounds more like what you're saying, because the policy is the policy for the district, but it says that like the regulations are how everything is policed. So if you read the regulations, that's much more, I think, descriptive in the way that you're looking for. So the first line in the regulation, and just to be clear, we don't vote on the regulation is written by the superintendent, but we can ask him to change things. We work on it collaboratively. but we don't vote on it. So like if you read the very first opening line of regulation 5090.9, use of private technology devices by students, it says the use of privately owned technological devices at school is considered a privilege, not a right. Therefore, students may possess cellular phones and other wireless communication devices on school property and school sponsored transportation, providing students adhere to the restrictions contained within this regulation and specific school building restrictions outlined in the student handbook. So each school, as you know, has their own restrictions that's age appropriate. So you're looking for very specific things. They're going to be found in the handbooks and within the regulation.
I think I would like, and I understand the point about context, and so if we even cut out some of the preamble, I would like a sentence along the lines of Madison Public Schools are a phone-free, Madison Public Schools a phone-free district. I think that is a powerful opening line that gives, it's unambiguous. To me, this reads as a little ambiguous. So I would advocate for a clear declaration of that upfront.
Then you'd have to define phone free.
Well, I think that's what the policy
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
but I think opening with that statement is more powerful, and less ambiguous.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something along those
Yeah,
lines,
yeah,
but I think.
But it makes it sound like they're not allowed to have a phone on them at all, which is incorrect, because at the high school level, they can bring a cell phone to school as long as it is off, because most of those students have extracurricular after-school activities. Some are actually, partially graded as well, and so you're not saying that you can't have the phone, it's that you can't use the phone.
So phone cell use is not permitted during school day.
Yeah.
Can you not say that?
It says that effective July 1, 2026, students may continue to possess privately owned technological devices, but the devices must be off and stored for the duration of the academic day, bell to bell, in accordance with the rules and procedures set forth in the administrative regulation associated with this policy. So the whole purpose of having policies with regulations is that the policy states the overall broad, this is what we allow, and the regulations are all about details, and much more explanatory.
I mean, even if the first sentence of the policy is cell phones are not allowed to be used during the day in Madison Public Schools, I think opening with a very clear line about what the new policy is helpful.
What if you like swap those two sentences? Like what Diane just read is the red underlined.
Right,
Start with that.
Line 8 through 11, that's underlined, that's the addition, saying effective July 1. You open with that and then follow with lines 6 to 8.
I think,
Maybe get rid of the first line altogether.
well, I think, like, I get what you're saying about having a statement, but then. Like further on in the reg or the policy, I forget where, it's like. You can use for certain, teacher permitted activities, or if you have an IEP, or. So it's not really phone free, but and then also it's like smartwatches and like other things, so. I appreciate, I agree with. Your sentiment, but I also understand that the policy, the regs need to be pretty. Emotion free, sort of, or not like, I don't know.
To me, it's a clarity thing. I mean, this reads as a little, I read this a few times and it just read a little watered down to me, and so I think. Being very clear.
I feel like the statement that you want to make is actually unclear. If you say it is a phone-free district, it sounds like, oh my God, they can't even bring a cell phone to school. They can't have it on the bus. They can't have it for after-school activities. This is exactly what the policy is. You may have it, you may not use it. And it's just, this is the way our legal team thought that it should read as a policy, whereas the regulation and each student handbook is going to read different and appropriate for the school and the level of the children in the school. Would you like to speak to that?
I think.
Yeah, I was just gonna share that we did look at other districts that had even, the most restrictive policies, and they had language similar to this, because we will have students that will carry cell phones based on an IEP or 504 plan, and so we wanted to be able to, we want to be, recognize that that's going to happen. We did look at also what the state law was that was almost passed and how those how the words were used in that. And so I think the piece on the reg, I'm happy to put in strongly because that is the wording that we'll use in communications time, especially when we need to do reminders. I think we're just recognizing that, especially at the high school and middle school level, students will have phones on them, and there's going to be mistakes, and so we're going to have to teach, and we're going to have to make sure that they're following the regs. I think there's going to be some pieces that we're going to have to implement there, but that was really the thought around that, and Shipman and look through that to say, based on what the law and then the times that students will have phones on them, kind of have to leave it a little bit open like that.
So how would you like to change the regulation to make it sound stronger?
I would just add, I think it was under pre-K to 5, students are strongly discouraged. That was the recommendation. I got that right, in the reg.
I still find that preamble.
This first paragraph is good. The first paragraph itself.
Policy or the reg?
The cellular phones, the use of privately owned, that whole paragraph, even if you put it below the high school, middle school, pre-K, and maybe just put, within the regulation and specific school building restrictions outlined in the student, but not necessarily have.
The policy doesn't say anything about phones not being used. I mean, it talks about them being a privilege. It talks about having to use it in accordance with the regulations, but the policy does not say anything about the fact that cell phones aren't permitted.
It does on line 29 to 30, under the heading use of privately owned technological devices. Privately owned technological devices may not be used during the academic day, except as specifically permitted by instructional staff, by an established accommodation, or unless necessary for a student to access the district's digital learning platform, or otherwise engage in remote learning, if remote learning has been authorized in accordance with applicable law. It's very technical, legalistic language on purpose, and this is the adopted, is this completely adopted from the Shipman and Goodwin version?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
the Shipman version with the updates that after the board vote. So.
Are you?
The changes that were made to this, because we already had electronic communication device policy, and then it was revised. Because we talked about it at a previous board meeting and we voted that we wanted to have a bell-to-bell, no cell phone policy, and so it was therefore revised to include that in the policy.
I do still like Emily's suggestion of flip-flopping lines 8 through 11 and putting them first ahead of lines 6 through 7, 6 through 8. So, I mean, I think that makes a much stronger statement.
It's stronger, but it doesn't read as well. If you read it with that section first and the next section, it sounds like it's backwards.
Yeah.
Because of it.
So what if we included the vote of the board? So the board voted to adopt a bell-to-bell ban as the first sentence. Just the action.
The Madison Board of Education has adopted a bell-to-bell.
Yes, that is exactly.
Because that's just making a statement,
Yeah.
so that doesn't add any
Yeah.
preamble that's ambiguous
That
legally.
would be.
Well, it doesn't follow, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not true. But all of our policies have been deliberately cleaned up by Shipman and Goodwin to eliminate any sort of
Declaration of intent.
yes. It's all about exactly what we do. This is what we allow, this is not what we allow, here are the definitions, here are the state statutes. You know what I mean? It's the same format that we use in every single policy. Because we used to have all of those declarations and statements, and it was a mix of regulation and policy, and we purposefully cleaned that up. To make it so that when you need to change something, it's easier to change a regulation rather than go in and change a policy.
True, but I mean, it's just a statement of historical fact that on that date, the board did adopt the Delta
But
Bell.
exactly, yeah.
But
And
all of the changes to policies are always noted at the bottom of the policy.
I
It
get it.
was, you know, first read on this date, adopted on this date. That's where that information is. We never start a policy by saying, we've adopted this policy on this date. Like, that's just weird.
Well, what if we didn't include the beginning of that sentence, but just said there is a bell-to-bell cell phone ban? Not the board implemented a bell-to-bell cell phone ban. I mean, it's like the thesis statement, right? Like, we've kind of buried the lead. Like, the thesis statement is that there's a bell-to-bell ban. To me, it should come like, be like the first or second.
Oh, you're gonna love all of our policies because they all bury the lead like that. Yeah.
I mean, I guess to me, it seems like it's a brand new policy. I think there's going to be some confusion, like.
Well, it's
The
not brand
policies
new,
are-
it's a revised policy.
Well, but the bell-to-bell ban is new for families, and so to make it as unambiguous as possible, seems like the purpose of a policy is for people to read it and for it to be user-friendly.
We've always had a policy about how private devices, technological devices can be used by students. We've always had that I mean, not always, but like for a very long time.
Personal, yeah.
Yeah, since there have been personal devices, and it has changed a lot over time, but we've had the policy, it's not a new policy, it's just a revised policy. And we've always said, you may possess them, which is the same thing that if you look, there's lines 6 to 8, there's no underline because it is the same as the previous policy. So I feel like if you try to reverse this, it doesn't read well because you're saying after you're telling them that it's a bell to bell, oh, you can possess them. To me, it doesn't read well. Sometimes we start off with more of a definition in a policy, but then it's still not gonna read the way you want it because you want that first line to be a declaration.
I mean, or it could be the second sentence if we want to keep the privilege not a right, but I mean, I think it's unclear.
Privilege not a
that-
right is in the regulation, not the policy.
I feel like we've worked so hard to revamp these and keep them consistent, especially Zoe and Diane over the past couple of years. So to get hung up and change this particular one is not
Well, this is a really important.
reasonable, but it'll also be highlighted and perhaps said that way in a handbook based on what those
Perhaps.
rules are.
I mean, I think every handbook is gonna have a forceful statement about what is and is not allowed at that level for those students in that particular school. And the regulation itself, I feel, is pretty strong. But if you don't like how the regulation is worded, we can make that somehow stronger. But the policy is something that's meant to stay
I
over
think
time.
it's more about the I think it's more about the
If it's more about the regulation, that's something
Yes,
that first paragraph,
in the regulation, not the policy.
right.
Okay, so now we're talking about the regulation. So you want the first statement then to say,
Madison Board of Ed adopted a,
Hey, no,
like that sentence.
I think that would be okay in the regulation.
that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
I thought this was the policy
Policy.
and the high school was the
Yeah.
regulation, so
So this is the first sentence.
yes, I think we're all
That
talking
first
about the same
paragraph,
thing.
yeah.
Right.
All right, so in the regulation then,
That's a better place for it. I mean,
it is a,
the
Yeah.
policy
it is a,
is a
it is a
framework
much
as
more
opposed to
appropriate place for
something
it.
implemented.
If you would like to rephrase the beginning of the
Okay.
opening of the regulation.
Yeah, I know, I have.
Yeah,
No
it's that
problem.
first paragraph. That's
So
what's
the basic premise is, policies are passed by the Board of Ed. The regulation comes before the Board of Ed to, for the Board of Ed to verify that it works in conjunction with the policy. They're issued by the superintendent, they don't have to be voted on, by the board, as Diana shared. But, they're oftentimes more prescriptive and more flexible, so I'm fine with including some language on that and any complaints, see the Board of Ed, I should say.
Motion straight to the road.
In other words.
All hands. So,
I did want to point out, as we're talking about these, the policy and the reg, that, you approved the line item transfers, and thank you very much. We asked the high school with a cell phone ban in place, what do you need to do business next year? Trying to avoid the teacher language in there where a teacher can override policy for kids to use phones, because I think the less ambiguity we provide students, less flexibility in this policy, in this area, the better. And they really took to it. I was really pleased with the feedback we got from teachers. So we're buying cameras for, we're buying recording equipment for music and things like that. So it totaled about $19,000. I'm sure it's going to grow from there. It all came out of high school accounts that they hadn't spent because we had the freeze in place. But I just wanted to point that out, that our high school teachers have already been thinking about this, and in some areas they're really excited. I think there's some pieces they're still trying to figure out. There's some losses there, like the music classes use GarageBand and certain things that are pretty fun for kids to play with. So we'll find a way to work around that, but I just wanted you to know we're on that.
So then,
Right.
I guess I would say you can wordsmith the regulation to include something strong in that opening line, opening paragraph, and then just bring it to the board for review,
Sure.
and then we can just move on with the policies.
Yeah, what I needed to come out of tonight with was the board policy approved, because
Yeah.
we're gonna do our communications to families.
I think it was,
before the
we were
summer.
just,
Yeah.
you were misunderstanding.
Yeah, so just to review where we are procedurally, we have a motion open that was raised and seconded to pass those two policies, but it's the policy, not the regulation that we're passing. But this discussion gave Craig the feedback that he needs. He got the board's feedback, and it sounds like he intends to take that feedback, work on the reg a little bit, and come back to the board with it, just to show the board how it came out. Again, the board doesn't vote on the reg, it only votes on the policy. So if you guys are all happy with the policy language, well, if you're happy or not, we should move forward with
And to
the
be
vote
clear-
on the policy.
To be clear,
And
the
then-
reason that we were saying we wanted to waive the second read and vote on it tonight as an action item is because
Yeah.
the policy needs to be passed by the board and in place, so that going forward in the fall, this summer, the administration is gonna be putting this all into place. So it has to be passed.
Great.
Okay, so I will call the question. I have a motion by Diane, seconded by Emily, to waive the second reading and approve the following policies: 50-40 admission to the public schools at or before age 5, and 50-90.9 use of private technological devices by students. All in favor, aye.
Okay.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. Thank you. Good discussion. Action item 12. I need a motion to authorize the Finance Committee Chair, Galen, to close out the 2025-2026 fiscal year directly with the Finance Director. This is something we do every year. And so it's really pro forma, but it's just because we won't be meeting, probably not even in June, on June 23rd, and not, maybe not in July. This allows the books to be closed under the supervision of the finance chair. So at least, the superintendent's working with someone from the board. Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Diane, do I have a second?
Second.
Who was that? Thank you, Jessica.
One of us.
I just heard that side of the table. All right, thank you both. Any discussion?
The last number was plus or minus 137,000-ish end of the year.
So we actually received more special ed reimbursement than we were expecting. Not a lot of districts are able to say that at this point in time. But I think the formula that impacted us negatively, so there was some extra money in that, so it's gonna be.
It's a moving
more
target.
of that. Yeah, I would say it's probably closer to 200,000
Okay.
or more at this point, which we're curious about, which is typically about where we land this time of year. So
So I'll take testimony to your foresight and soft freeze, testimony to Stacy Novitz's.
He's administration on top of every line. That's very fortunate. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're fortunate to have her. All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. Any abstention? Motion carries 8-0. Action item 13. This one's a bit bittersweet for me. I turned in a letter of resignation effective June 18th at 4 p.m. when I'll be sworn in for my judicial role. And so I need a motion to accept the resignation of board member Seth Glaskin effective June 18th, 2026 at 4 p.m.
So what if we don't?
I was about to raise that. So
Do I have a second?
I reluctantly say second.
All right. You two trying to push me off. Look at that. All right. Any discussion? I should get like a plaque with a little. Yeah. All right. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. I voted for myself to resign. Action item 14. We now have the election of a board chairperson effective June 19th, 2026.
Shouldn't it be June 18th at 4:01 p.m.?
Yeah, technically, but we do have a board vice chair who can fill in.
Give me a look at a coup.
Yeah.
Wait till you see what Galen and I do between 4 and midnight. Yeah,
That's right.
So elected board chairperson effective June 19th. I need a motion. Well, okay, the way I want to handle this is it's essentially a nomination. And I would like to, I'm prepared, look at that. I would like to nominate Emily Rosenthal to be the next board chair. I'd like to place Emily's name into nomination for the position of chair of this Board of Education. Having served as chair for almost 5 years, working closely with Emily as secretary, serving on the executive committee, I've been able to observe Emily's thoughtfulness and care in leadership. Over her many years on the board, Emily has acquired experience on several board committees. She's done excellent work as chair of the Facilities Committee during a very active time for physical plant renewal and through a transition in facilities directors. She and Galen have represented us well on the CIP committee, which is a crucial role to advance board interests. Serving as chair of any Board of Education requires the capacity to process sometimes awful or surprising information and to deal with difficult situations without freaking out, quite frankly. Emily definitely owns that trait. She's considerate, thoughtful, and pragmatic. Significantly, I know Emily will continue to lead this board in the fine nonpartisan tradition that has allowed us to keep the focus on our students and on our supporting staff. Emily also has an excellent and on supporting our staff, sorry. Emily also has an excellent relationship with Craig and Gail. She will manage the board side of the board district relationship very well. I feel that Emily, Galen, and I have engaged in a productive partnership as an executive committee. Emily will carry that partnership forward in her own right, applying her own strengths and talents to lead this board expertly. I have tremendous faith that Emily will make a superb board chair. She is eminently qualified and completely prepared. I wholeheartedly nominate Emily Rosenthal to serve as your next chair of the Madison Board of Education. Thank you.
I'd like to say, yeah. We need the buzzer to get ready to nominate you first. I can't think of anybody better anywhere than you to be chair.
You make an excellent job.
Lucky to have you. Thank you.
Or happy if you wanted to.
Yeah, thanks for stepping up. Everybody else took a step back. Yes, so we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry.
Everybody
Okay.
Activation.
Yeah, by acclamation.
Quicker to vote on that than the
With
resignation.
an A. All right, any further discussion, questions? Not too late to back out.
Yes, it is.
All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Harris.
Thank you, everyone. Just want to say really quick, I think you should maybe lower your expectations a little bit. As I set a really high bar. I am so glad that I served alongside you for so long and learned from you. I'm not sure if I will be able to know as much as you do, or go to as many places as you, or be as present in so many conversations. Your devotion, I mean, we all know and we all talked about it, is extraordinary. So I will do my best, and I do thank you for leaving the board in a really, the board of the district, everything in a really strong position. I've been on the board for a long time, and I feel like we're in a really good place. And I thank you for making that transition for me a little bit easier.
Thank you.
So thanks, Anne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm only a phone call away if you need me. Okay, so I need a motion, action item 15, I need a motion to approve the minutes of May 26th, 2026 Board of Education meeting.
Someone,
Diane, do I have a second?
second,
Emily? Any requested edits, amendments? Seeing none, all in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. What?
I was.
Oh, you don't have to abstain if
Okay.
you aren't here, so
Right.
you vote in favor of it, okay. Action item 16, this is the part where we pick up and go in the other room and have a long discussion. I need, this is, the action item is to discuss the evaluation of the superintendent and take possible action on the central office contract. And discussion is proposed for executive session, to include, Craig Cook, for part of the session. I need a motion to go into executive session for this purpose.
someone,
Diane, do I have a second? Is that Maureen, thank you. Any discussion? Oh, and to enter executive session at 8:11 p.m. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? We are now in executive session. Thank you.